Calderdale is a beautiful place to live, work and visit, shaped by its rivers and rich heritage. But its steep hillsides mean rainwater rushes into the River Calder, causing levels to rise rapidly. Combined with a changing climate, many of our communities are vulnerable to flooding. December 2015 brought relentless rain, the wettest month on record, with nearly double the usual rainfall. Hills and moors were saturated and the River Calder was swollen. As Christmas approached, the skies darkened once more. Storm Eva was on its way. Storm Eva was the fifth named storm of the season, with gusts up to 83 miles per hour and heavy rain exacerbating flooding in the north of England.
We had issued a number of flood alerts and warnings leading up to Storm Eva. And Storm Eva was really the peak of those winter storms that we were seeing. On Christmas Eve, we had anticipated to publish about 50 to 100 flood warnings. On Boxing Day, we really saw the peak of those storms, where many of our gauges in the River Calder were showing the highest ever recorded peak river levels. It was a significant and severe event that we were seeing.
Just after 1 p.m. on Christmas Day, a flood alert was issued for the River Calder. By 6 p.m, warnings were in place for Walsden Water and Todmorden, and the first siren sounded. Between the 25th and 27th of December, 16 flood warnings were issued across Calderdale. 9 of these were severe flood warnings on Boxing Day, meaning fast-flowing floodwater posed a risk to life.
It's a bit of a blur now. I mean, in terms of what we were seeing from it's hard to articulate really, because you're seeing it and it feels like you're watching a disaster movie, but you're actually seeing things unfold outside your house, and it feels quite surreal at first glance. I do know on the day there were a number of emergencies though in the locale. There was a chap that had to be rescued from his car who'd attempted to drive through the floodwater. People in houses, there were helicopters there having to winch people out who'd had to retreat upstairs, but the floodwaters were still rising. It's hard to articulate and show how high the water did get, but it was something we'd never seen before and have never seen since.
We have had several floods in Hebden Bridge since I was a member of this theatre, but none of them, except the one in Boxing Day 2015, has affected this theatre. Everybody pulled together and helped each other. It was a really strong community action then.
As families celebrated Boxing Day, flooding swept through communities across Calderdale. River levels surged, streets became rivers. Emergency services worked tirelessly to protect lives. A major incident was declared, with military personnel deployed to reinforce the response and support those on the front lines. The impact was devastating. In Calderdale, towns such as Hebden Bridge and Mythenroyd bore the brunt of the damage as the River Calder overflowed. Unlike previous floods, communities in Sorby Bridge, Elland and Brighouse were also badly affected. Storm Eva didn't just bring water, it brought destruction, and a community forced to fight back.
It was purely the amount of water and how fast it came. It was very, very quick, and it was a lot more than we'd ever had. It went a lot higher. We certainly lost more than we'd had in previous years. In previous years we might have had a little bit of water in, but this was, everything was a complete wipeout.
The storm passed, but the devastation left behind was immense. Flooding damaged homes, schools, community spaces, flood defences, roads, railways, bridges, substations and communication networks. Businesses were forced to close or lost vital trade at a critical time of year. Many communities were cut off, some left without power for days. But in the face of disaster, Calderdale came together. Flood hubs opened, neighbours helped neighbours. Council teams, partners, emergency services and volunteers worked side by side, clearing mud, making emergency repairs, restoring vital services and beginning the long road to recovery.
We have to be resilient, we have to constantly morphing. That this community is fantastic and I wouldn't be anywhere else. People often ask me, because I took over this business 6 years ago, I took over in September, we were flooded the following February, and people said to me, why are you going to do this? Are you going to set back up again? Are you going to keep going? Absolutely I am, because this community is amazing and I wouldn't be anywhere else despite the river.
It's remembering those stories and those connections that people made. You know, I got to know all my neighbours in a place where I hadn't lived before, and because you were speaking to them, and I think it's created those really great friendships and connections. And just it's shown that real kindness that there is in the world at the moment, and I think it's about commemorating the good things that have come from it, but also not forgetting the effects that it's had on people's lives.